Right. All right, guys. You may have seen us pause there for just a moment. We just want to make sure that we're coming through live on you guys' end. I should see that here in just a few shakes of a rattlesnake. If any of you guys can know where I got that from, that's a movie quote. So wait. I'm hearing this. I'm hearing it twice here. So okay, there it is. All right, I had it playing double on my computer. So there it is, guys. Welcome, man, to the latest episode of the Sim Standard Podcast with myself, SimFBallCritic, and the homie Smitty. And always in spirit is AzureEffect. When he's able to make it, he's here. When he's not, he's still here. So there you have it. So welcome, guys. You know, what we definitely want to talk about tonight, you know, as you're probably seeing in the title, we'll get that out of the way, and then I'll throw it to Smitty really quick. You know, we'll just give our quick light thoughts on, you know, what we might want to see out of our teams in preseason. As you can see, I'm turning to the right. My team is playing right now. And then we'll dive right into the topics. So basically the topics, man, and it's going to be quite a few, because if we can get to them, we will. Shout outs to all you guys that sent us topics, but I kind of pulled from a couple of them that I know we probably could cover. One of which would be, how do you play Madden? I'll go into more depth and explain to you what we're referring to there. We also want to talk about All-Madden versus All-Pro, and Smitty and I will mainly, make that pertain to Madden 19. And then we'll talk a little bit about, NBA 2K and, where they're going with their depth and their progression versus Madden. And we want to take the stand of, one of the guys here, and I'll try to get names so I can give everybody their credit. But one of the viewers gave us that topic. They want us to address that and take it from a position of when we know what is basically holding Madden back, so to speak. His question is it fair for us to judge them kind of apples to apples? So we'll dive into that and probably some more stuff, man. If we can get to it, like I said, I'm going to try to pull most of you guys' topics from Twitter. Y'all have provided mostly all of the topics tonight. So really quick, Smitty, I'll throw it to you real quick, man. Hope your week was well, and hope you're going into a good weekend. And outside of that, preseason is underway, man. Is there anything in particular you're looking for out of your Detroit Lions?
Just stay as healthy as possible,
Yeah.
And honestly, these games are more of warming up and filling out processes. So, I mean, our team is not, if anything, I'm just looking to see what Kerryon Johnson brings to the table and Amir Abdullah, what he hopefully brings to the table. Because honestly, he's playing for a contract. He's playing for his football livelihood at this point.
Right.
So, yeah. And I mean, I'm not expecting much from Blunt. At this juncture, I mean, we know what he's capable of, what he's gonna do. So, yeah, and I mean, just seeing our O line actually block, do some legit blocking out there as far as the run blocking. If they actually do a good job out there, hey, that'll be a positive sign, at least starting up. So, I mean, considering it'll be preseason, so. But that's pretty much it.
Absolutely, man. Let me make sure we're not dropping no frames here. No, we're not. So, yeah, man, real quick, man. Same thing Smitty said, even though, and I see my boy Tony in the house. I'm watching it black and gold. And I'm recording it so I can dissect it again tomorrow, Tony. So by the time we talk at lunchtime, we can really chop it up. Interesting thing here, man. The Steelers secondary has already gotten 2 interceptions. Cam Sutton just got an interception, and here comes, who is this? Is Josh Dobbs? Josh Dobbs throws it right back, and the Eagles get an interception. So I'm looking forward, man, to seeing Mason Rudolph in the second half. I just want to see what that kid is all about. But like Smitty said, man, I just want my team and everybody's team. Hope there's no catastrophic injuries. There's already been a few in some teams in preseason as far as like training camp. I just want everybody to be healthy, so we can get some good football. You hate when you watch football on Sundays and it's a team that's just been killed with injuries and it's almost like a wash to watch. So Just hope everybody stays healthy, man. And it's my favorite time of the year, Smitty, to be honest, is because I see real competition. And what I mean by that is these dudes trying to make the squad. They either trying to make the team, or they're showing a reason why they need to be more involved in the team, or they're showing a reason why they need to be in the rotation. Like it could be a guy, your team dresses 46 every week. So I'm looking for those guys from like 47 to 53 that's going to make an impact and, demand playing time. So that's why it's always cool, man, to watch preseason when you're looking at those guys that are scrapping, because those dudes are playing hard. So anyway, let's jump into this Madden stuff, man. Let's say what's up to the chat. How's everybody doing? Let me see what you guys are talking about. This guy Anthony says it's Madden trash this year. Man, you guys killed me, man.
Yeah.
Listen, like I've already said.
You tell us.
Yeah, you tell us. And you know what, Smitty? Let me start with that. I said a little bit of this in my stream, but I think it's only right to say it here as well. You're not gonna get things like that from me. I can't answer that question. I don't know if it's trash to you. I don't know if it's trash to the next guy. I don't know if you love it. I don't know if you hate it. When people ask those type of questions, man, I've just decided to just lay back, just, you know what I mean? There's nothing I can say. I don't know. You're going to have to determine that. You play the game for yourself, and then you determine, is it trash? Is it not? I can't really say because we all got our own opinions. But anyway, man, I just feel like stop taking everything so seriously, man. I'm continuing to see it, Smitty. Like people, for example, if you're talking directly to a developer, look, we just gave up a touchdown. Who was that? Oh, the kid Phillips. He ain't gonna make the team anyway. Cornerback. But if you were talking to the stop tagging us and everything. I don't know if I'm speaking to Smitty. But I don't need to be in that conversation. If you're talking directly to Clint or somebody, why am I included in the conversation? I can't fix the game. Now, if you're sending us feedback, great. I can pass it along. But once again, I gotta say this. If you're on Twitter, you don't need me to send feedback. Matter of fact, I would prefer that you not use myself or Smitty because it looks like it's coming from myself or Smitty. We need everyone else to send the feedback. It's power in numbers.
Yeah. So
stop funneling feedback through us when you're on Twitter. The devs are right there. And, I know guys will say, well, they don't respond. They don't respond to us all the time.
They don't respond to us all the time. Yeah. Even through emails. You know what I'm saying? Let me just say, add on to that. There are times that we won't find out. I could send an email to them about something today. I may not find out until I'm at a community event. Yeah, one of you guys, and they'll be like, one of you guys have brought up this point. Yeah, it was me. Oh, Smitty, you did. Yeah. In regards to that, this is what we did. They don't automatically respond to what everybody says.
Right.
If they honestly, and what, like we said before, if these guys, men, women, if they all spent their time responding to what everybody got to say on Twitter, they'll never finish the game. They won't be able to do anything. You'll really get a piss poor product. Because they're like, we spent all of our time responding to you guys. We spent half the time responding to your tweets because we had to make sure every single one of you guys got a response back. Like, come on. That's not how it works, man. Like, they see it, but then they got to do their job. So, yeah, but man. Go ahead, Sam.
And it's not like I'm saying that we don't want you to feel like you can include us. I guess what I'm saying is, listen, man, I'm going to be very frank. Madden is not my daily life. Like, I don't want to talk about Madden every day. I'm sorry. I don't. All I'm going to do is give my feedback, and I'm going to do it the way I do it. Stop asking me to join forces. And listen, I am not doing none of that. I am a grown man. I ain't got time for that. I don't need no alliances and allegiance with other. I don't need none of that. I'm good on that. Y'all do your thing. I'm gonna do mine because again, if people keep asking me, well, you should talk to who? I don't know. I don't need to do none of that. Now the people that I prefer to talk to, I always do, and everybody's always welcome to come on the show. Anybody, but all of that behind the scenes and not doing it. There's no point. Do your own thing. I'll do mine. Anyway, let's get back to the nitty gritty. All right, guys. So we're gonna start off with the first topic, and it's kind of rolling off of what I just said in terms of feedback. So what we want to talk about here, man, is and I kind of came up with this topic, and I said, how do you play Madden? And my eyes might be wandering. I'm looking down here at the description. What I really want to discuss, man, is how everyone's play style affects, and I see I misspelled it. I put play still instead of play style. Silly me. But how everyone's play style affects and or hurts feedback for the betterment of the game. Let me explain what I'm saying. So, you guys know I've been putting out a lot of videos, man, before launch, and I'll probably chill out on that now. The game officially launches for everybody tomorrow, so there's really no need for me to do that. Really, I wanted to do two things. I wanted to show you guys gameplay for you guys that haven't had a chance to see it. Number two, I wanted you guys to see the slider set I'm working on for All-Madden. I think I'm kind of pretty locked in, so I will probably share them in the next video. So, people comment on the game and they'll say stuff like, oh, you suck, oh, you can't play, oh, I don't care about none of that at the end of the day. If you're good at it and I'm not, if I'm good and you're not, who cares? None of us are in the MCS. I expect to see you guys in the championship if you're that good, but I don't care about any of that. But it made me think about this. Most of the feedback I'm getting on those videos are the games that I win. So it makes me think, are we playing, do most people prefer to just play Madden? Or are they into playing football? Now, y'all know we've had this question before, and y'all know that here, collectively, we're all sim guys. So my point is, the way I play the game, man, I try to throw in some variety. I don't seek the just run up the score. I don't seek, try to find the meta. I don't do none of that. I'm just play. And yeah, I'm not the best Madden player. But hey, guess what? I've played some real good Madden players and won and lost. So what? But my point is, it's hard for me to understand how I'm getting that comment on the actual games that I posted where I've won the game. So, because this guy said that to me today, and I said, let me ask you, man. I said, your opinion is cool. I don't care about that. I said, but I won the game. So what difference does it make? I was like, I guess my style points are not good. So it made me think, this goes to show you where most people, man, they're not of our cloth. They're not cut from all of us, from the cloth that we're cut from. They don't want football. It's just all about playing Madden. And that's it. Even when the game releases, right? You have guys like NY Kia. Shout outs to Kia who's here in the chat. Excellent video. And Kia, I haven't actually watched the other one yet. I'm planning to do that hopefully later tonight because I have a little bit of time in between the time that I let you guys go and then I have to be in the bed to commute. So I'm going to try to, watch or at least listen, as I'm getting myself prepared for tomorrow because I meant to watch that earlier. My bad. But you have guys like that who's out here showing football. But the majority of the people, they couldn't wait for the game to drop so they could play MUT. Ain't that right, Smitty?
Yeah.
Most people, that's what they wanted to do was just get on MUT. And I'm like, we are fighting a tough battle, man, when it comes to getting that core game. And I'm not saying that to deter anyone from their feedback. In fact, I actually had a conversation today with A-Dub. Can't give you the details, but there's a lot of stuff that it has been pointed out that he advised me these things will be, these things are going to be addressed. He said as much in his videos, which I know Smitty is going to allude to here in a moment. He's putting out videos explaining what's going on in the game. So I'll let Smitty dive in on that. A-Dub, yes. I'll give you guys his YouTube name here. He's out there showing you guys what's happening in the game and why they do it the way they do it, explaining football and explaining to you how it's done in Madden. So my bottom line is, Smitty, is it kind of ticks me off when I'm going to pick on us a little bit. I'm seeing sim guys already complaining about football stuff happening because they don't understand what's happening. That to me is that to me is a real problem because I'm starting to realize that it's all about how you play Madden. That affects your feedback. Me personally, and again, I'm not saying that I hold the keys or I'm the greatest. No, but my mentality is always about football. I'm sitting here watching this preseason game right now, and I'm seeing missed tackles. I'm seeing guys get picked off. I'm seeing guys throw interceptions, bad passes, Josh Dobbs again. I'm seeing it all. And I want that to happen in my game, even if that means I lose. It's all about football. It's not a preference for me when I'm giving feedback on behalf of the simulation community. It's not about what I want to work. I'm always focused on, is that football or not? And if my team was trash, great. If we just ain't good or better than the next team, I like that. But we're starting to find out, Smitty, that people don't like that. They just want it to be going in their favor. They just want Madden to be, they want everything to work. They don't accept anything that doesn't go in their favor. And it's ticking me off, guys, because I'm telling you, I'm not going to call names, but, bruh, there's people in this community that's complaining. It's pretty sad. What you got, Smitty?
I mean, like one person in particular, which I won't mention their name, but I'd have to tell Sim offline. But the thing is that my man Virtual Footballer, shout out to him, sent me a tweet from a guy that was just like, EA don't ever do nothing right kind of guys. This dude, he sent me a DM. And he told me, he basically said that he was upset that the Madden trial was over for his EA access. And he has a picture of him with a copy of Madden 19. He's like, yo, Madden 19 is that deal. And I'm like, yo, like, this is a dude that just was going on and on. Like, Madden don't ever do jack. They don't do this. They don't do that. Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, yo, Madden 19 is that deal. It's legit. The challenge is there. This is SimFootball, blah, blah, blah. Dude. So when you see a guy like that do that, along with a lot of other people online, talking about, the running ability is challenging. I'm liking the coverage. I'm liking this. Now, mind you, same people are talking about issues in the game, too. So it's not like everybody's just being positive and that's it. No.
I already put a video out giving some negative feedback. I've already done that.
Bro, dude, people that were just in my stream, you saw me cap multiple plays. Multiple instances of things happening. Every stream, virtually, I'm capping something. So we're doing all that. But the bottom line is, and like what Kevin McCoy is saying there, you're not even seeing the tourney guys complain. You know what I'm saying? Yet the sim guys are complaining. Now, what does that say?
Just got hyped real quick. My bad, Smitty. Let's go, Josh Dobbs. He trying to make the squad. Let's go.
But no, man. Like this is the whole thing. Football. Like if you watch the games right now, you got wide receivers that trip and stumble, DBs that fall down all over the place. People slip, fall over the field. And there ain't no snow, there ain't no rain, there ain't no sleet, no ice, nothing on the field. And all that stuff happens. Now, what if that happened in your game? Man, I'm indoors on turf. Why are people falling? They shouldn't be slipping on running their routes. They shouldn't be doing. It's going to happen. That's part of the dang on game. That's part of football. You see what I'm saying? So if people can't handle it, and they don't like what's going on in the game, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, football. This is what people said they wanted, and now that we get it, now that you're getting it even more, it, yo, people are angry about that now. Man, I want to be able to do everything at this ridiculous high rate. I shouldn't be able to, like, no. People want to be able to do things. They want to be able to take their team and they want to unrealistically do things that they shouldn't be able to do. That's exactly how folk want it to be. Sim, when 757 was on here back then, around Madden 15, same point. The more authentic they go about making this game, guess what happens? You know what I'm saying? You're going to have people tell on themselves pretty much. Man, they shouldn't be doing that. But these are the exact same people that said, man, it ain't authentic. Man, I want it to be authentic. People slip and trip and stumble and fall and all that stuff. That's part of the freaking sport. That's what I tried to do that with my sliders. You know what I'm saying, in the game. I tried doing that to people slip on tackles and people tripping over each other. It makes the gameplay look a little bit sloppy, but at the same time, that's what happens. It's in the sport. I want that to happen on the field. You know what I'm saying? So we got to embrace that. And people that don't want to embrace the learning curve, listen, you got options. There's NFL Tour. You got NFL Street. You got Madden Arcade. You got NFL Blitz. You got options. So I don't want to hear any of that. And if you want to play older games, play APF, play 2K5, play PS2 or Xbox Madden. Play that. Play what you honestly need to get down with. You know what I'm saying? So by all means, go for it, man, and have yourself a great time. That's it.
Yeah, man.
So
what I don't understand, and I'm gonna continue to say this because we're in this business, I guess, of being in social media and people talking to you and you talk back. And I don't want to be the type of person that ignores people and anything like that. I hate talking about the same thing over and over, but if that's what you want to talk about, okay, I'll address it. What I don't understand is why we act like Madden ain't gonna have no bugs or no issues. I've never seen nothing like it. Like my point is, we've all been playing this game, and I'm talking. When I say we, I'm talking about all of us at the Sim Standard, all of the guys who've been giving feedback for years. I definitely got to throw NY Kia in that mix. Plenty of guys, Neff. I mean, it's too many to name, and a lot of you guys that have been rocking with us for years. We commenters, guys that have called into the show. I mean, for years. I'm talking about you guys that would say, man, we always saying this we having the same conversation. I'm talking to you guys. Why are we acting like we should be more intelligent enough now to know what's a bug and what's not? So, I guess my point is, you notice, and listen, you don't have to do what I do. I'm just saying. When I put out the video about RPM and I said there's some areas of concern there, to me, that was validity. I said, I like what they're doing here. I can see where the real player motion is happening, but now they're going to have to connect them to that field, though. That, to me, is a game issue that needs to be addressed at some point. Whether that's something that's patchable, I doubt it. I don't know. But why are we harping on bugs? And I'm not saying pointing them out. You know what I'm trying to, the difference is what I'm trying to say. Why are we trying to build a case on bugs? You report bugs. That's it. But you don't use bugs to say, oh, the game is trash. Because again, just like a couple years ago or last year, I put out a video in regards to NBA 2K, Madden, and Live. I did a video where I showed how all of them shared similar gameplay issues. But did you hear me say the NBA 2K was trash? No, I don't think it is. I don't think 2K18 is trash. Others do. It has problems, just like every game. But I guess what I'm saying is I've been doing this long enough to know what's a game problem and what's a bug. Warping, body clipping, that's a game problem. Is it still happening at Madden at times? Sure is. Is it going to happen in live? I'm pretty sure it will. 2Ks are advertising that this is funny. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on it because 2K's highlighting that in their blog saying that this is the reason why. Let me say this for y'all, for you guys that might have missed this. And I'm not picking on 2K. I look forward to 2K19. But let me just show you how people sometimes miss the same type of tactics from all these companies. In the blog, it said that because of an error or a bug or whatever in their detection system, collision detection is the reason why you saw that clipping. Let's be fair. It's been a problem in it for the last 5 years. Y'all have had that issue for the last 4 or 5 years. Now, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they put in a new technology last year for 18 that was supposed to prevent that, and that had a bug. Very possible. But now, since you've stated that, guess what we're going to all be looking for when it come out? We're going to be looking to see where the body clipping is because y'all said it ain't there no more. This is where I give 2K praise. Let them get that done. Let that game come out and there ain't no body clipping. Oh, now that's a whole different can of worms. Now I'm looking at EA like, see? It can be done. Now you can't give me the excuse because y'all know I give every game the excuse. Y'all have heard me say it about every game. I mean, shoot, Smitty is playing or has been playing the COD beta. I'm sure there was some form of body clipping or guns going through the wall and stuff, and that every game has it.
Oh, every game, yeah.
So if 2K has figured out that puzzle or that riddle and they fixed that, wow. Yo, please. Yeah. I hope so, because then I'm going at Madden even harder. Like, okay, now, all right, now, whatever it is that they doing, y'all need to get y'all spies up and figure this out. Because if they can do it, you can do it. So, I guess, again, I'm going to just say that one more time. And I know some of y'all that might not agree, and I'm just talking about those who are always on this side of the fence. My point is, man, let's give real feedback. And problems are problems. Bugs are bugs. That's all I'm saying. Point out the bugs, because they need to know. But don't try to... If I showed you guys the amount of DMs and stuff people are sending me saying, what's up with this? And I'm like, dude, are you serious? That's clearly a bug. Like, that's a bug. Like, that ain't... I don't know, Smitty. All I do, though, is if you look at my history, even when I've talked about 2K basketball, you've never heard me talk about a bug. I laugh at it. Because I remember one video I had where my man slid from the three-point line all the way to the other side of the court, and I was like, wow. And I bust out laughing. That's all it is. I knew that wasn't representative of the whole 2K basketball. Now, the body clipping and the ball tangibility, those are video game problems. Same thing. Like right now, Madden still has issues. They've reduced it, but there's still times where the animation creates a magnet effect. Like, oh, let's trigger, boop, and they warp.
Yeah.
It has reduced quite a bit, especially with the two-man sequences, but it's still there. That, to me, is a video game problem.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So if I was to come out here and say, what's wrong with Madden, that would be one of the things I would say, look, man, they got to fix this.
Yep.
So I just want to explain the differences, man, because I get these questions all the time. Is like, well, what do you guys think? What would you say is bad, and what would you say they need to fix? And I'm like, the bug stuff is totally different. I'm concerned with the core, the core functionality of the game and game problems. Those are the things I look for.
Well, see, I mean, like, the thing is that like some of the bug stuff that does happen in the game, like at least for me, is reasons why I don't call certain plays, because I know what's going to happen. Like, my center is going to sit in place and be motion shifting like this and just stay in one spot. So there's certain plays I can't call out of certain forms. You know what I'm saying? Or like people that see me stream, I've said it to Sim before as well. The passing. I mean,
Oh,
they have to fix passing. I mean, they have to have a brand new passing mechanic in there, or like what I'm saying, or what I would like to see something like is at least even have a pass sensitivity slider like Tiger Woods, where even though it's all have the buttons and all that the same, but at the same time, let me be able to place that pass wherever I want. You know what I mean? Like with the ratings and everything being held true, of course, but let me be able to place that pass. I mean, because defense is so much better now and how they react to everything, let me throw it where I want to throw it to. If
yeah.
I want to lead to this spot or lead to that spot, let me do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the whole warping thing, I'll touch on this real quick because my man Wale wanted me to bring that up to talk about it. The warping issue is a big time problem in a game of inches like football. You
Mm-hmm.
can't have all that motion shifting kind of stuff going on. Like that's bad because when you're reading and you see that opening, and I'm like, bet I'm gonna throw it right here, and then all of a sudden, defender just shoot, just shifts out of nowhere to the spot and takes it from you.
Sucks, man.
That pisses me off. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that kind of stuff is extremely problematic. I understand they're building it up and it's in phases and stuff like that, but that's a serious problem. You know what I'm saying? Where positioning and all that stuff matters so drastically, you gotta tighten that. And the other thing I say about the pass trajectories is there has to be a level of awareness. I see middle linebacker right there. My receiver's behind him, right? I want to zip it in real quick. I want to throw a quick pass. Well, let me throw that quick pass, but put more arc on it and throw it to that spot quick. I understand that you can hold L1 and, well, at least I'm on PlayStation. So you could hold L1 and throw it. It'll put up that high pass and everything, and he'll jump up for it. But what I'm saying is throw that pass more of a laser leading over top,
Mm-hmm.
and then he just can do a subtle jump. He doesn't have to jump all the way up and just expose himself and get flipped end over end to make a catch. Like, it's not that drastic of a throw. But see, in Madden right now, you're limited with the passing tools. So you have to throw that kind of pass. Otherwise, I got to look somewhere else. And when you don't have a good team, like the Lions, they're iffy. It sucks because you really can't. I have an idea of how these situations are going to play out as they run their routes. So it's like, dang, I can't throw it here. I can't throw it there. I can't throw it to this guy unless this circumstance. You see what I'm saying? So it's very touch and go. That element has to go away. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It has to be or drastically reduced, i.e., like FIFA and PES. Which, by the way, if you play that PES 19 demo, man, look, just like you said about the 2K, if they eliminate the warp, listen, PES dang near. I mean, and PES even has motion. They have motion shifts. FIFA does. They all do, but it's very subtle. You know what I'm saying? It's very subtle, but the players feel super attached to the field. The ball physics ridiculously nice.
Yeah.
The trajectories on shots,
See?
the way players blend together, like when it comes to them interacting, it's so much cleaner and it feels so much better now. It's crazy. So that's why I look forward to what Madden is going to be able to do going forward. I'm happy about this, what they got right now. Like, don't get me wrong, Madden 19, this is outstanding with RPM. But I look forward to when they start branching and building out RPM further and furthermore, like FIFA is going to do in 19, and seeing what NHL is doing. Like, so it could be on that much higher level of movement, and it's more of a one-to-one, in terms of player interaction across the whole board, especially the trenches. So, I'll throw it to you, Sim.
Yeah, man. And let me kind of shed some light on a couple things that I see people say all the time, even here in this chat. Number one, when we say stuff like they need to get rid of the rating system, they need to get rid of the sliders, they need to throw this, it's not as simple as y'all make it sound, man. My man Brett Lee was on here a week or two ago, and he ex-dev, and he's telling you stuff like, do y'all know what it would take in order for them to scrap the rating system or the entire slider system? There's no way for them to do that. The only way they could do that, in my opinion, I don't think, two things. You either have to dedicate a full cycle to that, or you have to have it already being created elsewhere. I don't know how NHL did it. My only guess is, if you look at NHL that year and kind of looking from the outside and listening to people in that community, they pretty much didn't do much else that year. So it gave them the ability to kind of just hone in on that. Their game is more stabilized, and there's still a lot of stuff in that game. A lot of people are saying that still ain't there. But what I'm saying is, there's no way you can do something like that in that fast of a turnaround, and then as soon as they do that, then we still expecting all of these other major changes in the same cycle. Number two, Brett even said, there's nothing wrong with the engine. I keep seeing people say, man, they need to scrap the engine. And there's nothing wrong with the engine. It's all about coding and new technology to run on the system. Did they scrap the whole engine to bring in RPM? No. Or any of this stuff. Did they scrap the engine to bring in any of the stuff that we've seen get in Madden since Madden 12? Did they, you know what I'm saying? I think sometimes what we're asking for, we don't really know what we're asking for. Because y'all are talking about like a year or two off, which we know they can't do. But again, there's nothing wrong with the actual engine of the game. It's more so rewriting code, and it's also, adding new technologies that can run in the current system that they have. That's it. The other thing I would always say is, with Madden, I don't know why this community, why do we always give them excuses? Let me explain what I'm saying. Why are we saying that they need to scrap their engine and hardware? Why do they need new hardware when PES is able to do what they do? FIFA, MLB The Show, NBA 2K, Battlefield. I'm just saying. If all of these other games can produce, let me throw y'all another one which I'm dying to play. Red Dead Redemption 2. Hell, GTA. Last of Us. Uncharted. If these games can do what they do, why is it that Madden needs new hardware? We got to stop giving them excuses. We have to stop this, man. I'm just saying. Y'all can carry it the way y'all want, but let's just be real. We got to stop having the tunnel vision and just thinking, oh, Madden this, they got to do that, they can't do this, they can't. They can. Look around the industry. Look within EA Sports. They produce mega games that are that beyond what Madden is doing. Again, FIFA's right there. That's an EA Sports product. That's a measuring stick. So don't give me the whole they need new hardware. They don't need no new hardware. Come on, man. It ain't got nothing to do with that though, my man Ray. It has nothing to do with the years. You guys are saying they need new hardware. It don't matter how long it took them to do that. I'm just showing you what can be done on the current hardware. So one of you guys said, oh, they need new hardware. But y'all know every time they start over with a new system or new hardware, okay, here you go. Look what happened with Frostbite. From 17 to 18. Look how little was done to 18 because of the huge implementation of bringing it on to Frostbite. This is what I'm saying. We got to stop giving these dudes excuses, man. We have to. And again, my man in here says, I missed it. Somebody said something about the developers. Again, like I told you, man, it ain't got nothing to do with the developers. You know, again, Brett was in here a couple weeks ago, and he mentioned himself. He used to work with Rob Jones, who's now with 2K. You know, not live. EA Sports has had and still has outstanding talent on their development team. It ain't got nothing to do with that. We know what it is with Madden. We already know. We keep saying this stuff over and over, and we know what it is. They're being handcuffed by the powers that be, plain and simple. But what we need to hold them accountable for is what's in the game. Like I said, I like RPM. I like what it's doing. But RPM, it would work a lot better, man, if they could get that ground to foot, more like Smitty said, like it is in PES. I mean, like it is in FIFA. That ground has to be a tangible item. It has to be a part of the game. It can't just be a surface. Because, like I said, you can look yourself. And sometimes Smitty will agree with this. Sometimes it plays out great. And here's another confusing thing, Smitty. We talk about the warping and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are instances in Madden 19 where there's no warping.
Yeah.
None. So that makes me even look at him even stranger. Like, what's happening? Like, what caused that time for it to warp and it didn't this time? So it's the components are there, but what is it that's holding it back? Is it I don't know, the dice roll or what is it?
I mean, the thing is that, like, part of it. See, I think that it's part of the integration with the RPM because, like what Clint said at EA Play, they don't fully know the complete ins and outs of that RPM tech yet, which is good. So it's like they implemented it, but we also got to understand Madden's not on the level of FIFA. Madden's not on the level of PES. Madden's not on the level of NHL. So it's like when we look at player movement and we make those points of emphasis about that, yeah, they're using the same tech, but this thing, what we're really going to see is look at FIFA. We're going to see FIFA 18, which already has the RPM tech in it, and you're going to see how much more it refines the gameplay in FIFA 19. You see what it's doing in NHL. So if you played that beta, so this is what I'm saying. Like when you look at Madden, a game that's behind, yes, it's going to make an impact on the game, but it's still there's more to it that has to be built upon. They got in terms of it seeing fleshed out. Like these are the kind of things that possibly could be answered in the next game. So it has to be built out, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the one part about it. So,
I swear, I don't understand why. I'm going to be honest, man. I don't understand. And right after this, we'll jump into the All-Madden and All-Pro thing. I mean, listen, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So even what I'm about to say is really my opinion. So it's kind of like spiting myself. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't understand why some of you guys are still concerned with Madden. Let me explain what I'm saying. It never fails. It never fails via video, Twitter, here on the live show. It's always the opposer, if you will. Like, and I'm not talking about us guys, or a lot of us who don't like certain things in the game now, like we're talking about tonight, and giving feedback. I'm talking about this segment of, they'll never do this, they'll never do that. It sucks. That's the same. I don't understand why y'all consume yourselves with it. I really don't get that. I really don't. As Smitty was streaming the COD beta the other day, and I came in there was just fooling with Smitty. I said, "Boo,
yeah.
Boo! Don't nobody want to see no COD Battlefield all day." And that was it. Ha ha. Never seen me come back. And well, of course, I was there watching him. But my point is, I don't concern myself with Call of Duty, and that's not me saying Call of Duty's trash. What I'm saying is, I decided a long time ago, that ain't really my style of game. Call of Duty plays a certain way. That's just it. I don't think it ever will change. It's their style, it's their interpretation. Same can be said about Madden. Madden and 2K was never the same. Even when they were both going neck and neck, they had their different styles. So number one, I don't understand that whole comparison of, man, it ain't nothing like 2K. Or you get people say it the other way. I lie to you not. If I could find the tweets, I'll show them to y'all right now. I have many people tell me on a daily, truth be told, I never liked 2K. Even 2K5, I always preferred Madden's gameplay. See what I'm saying? It's people on both sides of that fence, but they're not supposed to be the same. I don't want NBA Live to play like NBA 2K. I want them both to represent basketball. But I don't want to be playing the same game. What's the point of that? So I just don't get it, guys. I'm just being real, man. You know, I guess the more mature I get and the more we age in this lifetime, I ain't got time for the nonsense. I don't get why some of you guys, I mean, y'all in here every week. Some of y'all know who you are. I ain't got to call your name. I don't understand it. Why are you concerned about, like, you come around just to say how bad something is? That's come on, man. That something's wrong. But anyway, man, if we're talking about All Pro and All Madden, let me explain to you guys why I play All Madden and Madden 19. They have done something this year that is almost not fair. I've always said I like the challenging things in All Madden, but we all know All Madden, it's All Madden. You're going to have to play with sliders. You don't have to, but if you want to limit the amount of computer override, cheesy stuff, nerfing your guy, you're going to have to find a slider set that plays more balanced, just like All Pro. We all know, some of y'all know, some of you don't. The game is tuned on All Pro. It's always been that way. The devs will always say, and since they've implemented the simulation arcade and what's the other one, comp, they've said the most balanced gameplay is simulation All Pro, right? However, All Madden feels a little good this year. NYKia has several videos out there on default All Madden and has won some. He's posted a game where he lost. My first couple games, the first 3 games I posted when we started getting the game early, lost the first one, won the second 2. All 3 of those, default All Madden. So it's not impossible to beat. Even playing the style of game that we all play, you know, the kind of chess match style. Since then, you've seen that I've had these sliders, and I'm loving the way these sliders are working so far. I'll throw one nugget out there, and I kind of got this from Smitty, which I didn't understand it at first when I saw the number, and this is the reason why I haven't shown the sliders yet, because I don't want you guys to do what I did when I saw Smitty's. I was like, coverage on 3. I was like, whoa, that's low. But just watch the game, right? So I'll throw one nugget out there. I have my pass coverage. Wait. I have one of them is flipped. I can't remember which is which, but I have it 70 and 10. One of them is 10 and the other one is 70. I think I have coverage on 10 and reaction might be. I can't remember. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up here real quick and I'll let you guys know. But anyway, the point is, I'm loving the experience I'm having. It's playing phenomenal. The sliders don't fix the game. It's not going to fix the way the problems that are in the game. It's not going to fix the bugs. It's not going to do any of that. But it does allow you to cater your experience. All right? So, as I say that, I also prefer All Madden this year because what they have done now, if they've taken the kick arc away and they've taken the hat count in the box away, there's a lot of helpers that are just, they're gone. Can't cut them on. I love that. And I've even gone even crazier than that, Smitty. And this is just me and my crazy self. I even cut off the previous play. because I want to make myself learn what's happening and recognize, okay, that looks like cover 4. Oh, they switched it up. Oh, that's match. Oh, like I want to learn and recognize that and play a strategic game instead of me saying, oh, the computer called the same thing all the time. But I just look at, I don't want to know none of that. I just want to figure it out. Now, what I don't like, I've said this to Clint several times. I don't like that you can't get All Pro to play like All-Madden. And what I mean is, I want All-Madden calls better plays. I mean, the AI is smarter, which I know they're implementing a few cheats, but y'all know what I'm saying? It's a better experience minus the cheats. So if you find that slider set, great. But All Pro, like I've always said, even a couple years ago, why can't I choose the speed of the kick meter? I wanted last year. I wanted that meter to be fast. I felt like All Pro was too easy. Look at the Madden Championship. All of them dudes hitting 50, 60-yard field goals because it was so easy on All Pro. It was no challenge. So that's why I prefer All-Madden. I like the challenge. I like to lose from time to time because I really want to dive in and have some fun in my season. I don't want to blow the computer out. Maybe I'm just not that good. But that's why I like that. I win some, I lose some. It feels, you know what I mean? Like if I make it to the playoffs, I'm under pressure because I might lose and I ain't starting it over. I'm just losing. We go to the next season. But this year specifically, Smitty, man, I'm loving it. And it's something else I don't know if I can say or not. So, but, well, I can say it in a general sense. Make sure you guys give feedback on All-Madden. Just please do that. Because there's been some conversation, and I had this conversation even in the beta, that there could be some tuning to All-Madden. And when I revisited this conversation just a little while ago, I was advised, like, shoot. I mean, people seem to be loving it. Now we don't know, you know, they literally like, should we touch it or not? And I'm like, yeah. So it's also, let me say this. These are the things that I need to adjust when I play All-Madden. QB accuracy is way too accurate. So that's something you always got to adjust.
Yeah.
User pass rush is null and void on default. However, I will say this. I had to revisit that statement late in the cycle last year with Madden 18, like a few months back when I, you know, was still playing it, but kind of, you know, tailing off of it. I was like, you know what? You shouldn't get a sack every play anyway. And in the percentage of sacks that was happening, I said, oh, okay, I can see it. But I just didn't like the way it felt. It feels like, I mean, your man is just patty. You can't do anything. When they don't want you to get through, you're not getting through. I don't like that. But if you adjust the slider, you can get it to where your guys' moves are pretty much respected. When you input something generally happens, or you can generate some pressure. And I love the CPU pass rush on both All-Madden and All-Pro against you. Like, you ain't got a lot of time in that pocket. I love that. So you have to adjust the CPU pass blocking, in my opinion. I've adjusted the quarterback accuracy. And the only thing else I'm really fooling with is the run game. You know, I got, y'all have seen them. I got games where CPU is running the ball, I'm running the ball. Now here's another one I throw at y'all. I got the CPU run blocking at 80. So go back and look at some of them games and just see how it's playing. And you'll be like, whoa, really? Mine is at 100. And you see, I still can't, I ain't running loose. I might bring that back a little bit, but I'm just testing it. But my point is, and you see, I still haven't been able to completely gash the computer. I get some runs here and there, and most people have been commenting on those videos like, yo, man, this gameplay, I need them sliders. And that's why I didn't want to show people the numbers, because in your mind, when you see that, come on, we're human, you're going to be like 100. You know, you automatically buy it. So every time you see a broken run, a breakout or whatever, you're going to be like, oh, see, that's because. But I'm telling you, go back and watch them games I posted. Look at the game I put up earlier today, the CPU versus CPUs, the same sliders. And I did some stuff with the tackling in the pass coverage stuff, and I kind of got that from Smitty. Our numbers are not the exact same, but it's not like one is right or wrong. I just got the idea from Smitty. So there is, matter of fact, hold on, I'll tell y'all here in a minute. One of them I have really low, and the other one is high. And if y'all have been watching those games, you see the coverage is fine. Okay, yeah, so I have reaction time higher. I have the pass coverage at 10. So think about that in the games y'all been watching. The coverage is at 10. Which brings me to another point, Smitty. And let me wrap this up. Now I'll say the other point real quick and then throw it to you. So bottom line, that's why I play All-Madden. I'm preferring All-Madden this year. I think All-Madden is where I'm gonna stay. For the reasons that I laid out, especially with the hiding the kick arc and all that stuff. I love that strategy. I've missed field goals against the computer. And that win is a factor. Love it. Right? And the fact that the MCS will be played on All-Madden, even though it's comp setting, that's very telling to me. That kind of sounds like that All-Madden is going to get some love. So that conversation that I had, I think it's going to happen. But we'll see. I don't want to dive too far into that because I don't know if it's happening or not. But that's where I'm at. I prefer it this year over All-Pro, where in prior years I would always say that All-Pro was the most balanced. And it may still be. So there you have it. But the other thing I wanted to say, Smitty, I'm starting to wonder what sliders really work. Because obviously, when you could tell with tackling. You start moving tackling, you can tell real quick that one's working. It seems to work correctly. Passing seems to work correctly. I haven't taken everything else all the way down, but are you feeling like, Smitty, now that the sliders are working more the way you expect them to, or no?
Yeah, they are. But at the same time, it still has the hijinks going on in the game. Like, when you play, like, for example, I've shown it in multiple videos. Not videos, excuse me, like during the streams and such. You'll see me I call cover 4 palm coverage a lot. So, because I'm loving it. And you'll see the deep blues when they drop back. Every time the quarterback gets ready to throw, that safety or corner will all of a sudden run down. They'll come down towards, they'll just run down for no reason. And then all of a sudden, it's a wide open dot for like 40 yards or more. You see what I'm saying? And it happens occasionally. So it's like, and this was happening in the beta too. So when it's happening now, it's like, oh man, like still. So I purposely, when I make the play call now, to try and alleviate it, I gotta call. I say over the top. You know what I'm saying? And when I put it up over the top like that, then they'll stay true.
Oh, that's working. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's working. But when I leave it at default, but that's the whole thing. I don't always want to give them a cushion. You see what I'm saying? I want it to be balanced right in the middle, and I want them to just play, in the middle of the road, instead of giving the defense, giving the opposition a higher probability of catching the ball.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that takes that away from me, because it happens on All-Madden. But it also happens on all pro as well. So this isn't just All-Madden, but the All-Madden hijinks stuff is mainly happening there. Like, they make your, ball carrier, you'll get stuck at times when you try to run. You know what I'm saying? Especially on the slow speed, they got to clean that up, because it's like you got that hitch step when you get that handoff and then they make you hit, you get stuck for a moment and then you start running. So it's like it got you stuck in mud for a moment and then you're able to go. So there's some nuances there, but I'm definitely seeing, I'm definitely seeing a lot more, sensible gameplay outcomes, even with the slider adjustments.
Right.
So I can, I could definitely say that they're holding a lot more true this year, turning the run blocking up to 70. Oh, okay, yeah. See, that's where I mean, but see, you putting it on 80 for the see. If I do that with the Lions,
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
I ain't stopping nobody, man. I ain't stopping no runs. If I put the CPU on 80 on All-Madden, I ain't stopping nobody's run unless I blitz.
Smitty makes a great point, guys. See, I'm glad you said that, Smitty, because to me, that's always been the challenge with sliders. Like, for example, people always, everybody always wants, what sliders you using? What sliders you? But it's like Smitty just said, some of these sliders you might have that effect. Like with the Lions, like you said, if their D line or whatever is not that great, then it's gonna show the more you start turning things up and down. So it's like everybody's experience is different. And that's why it's so many slider sets, because everybody's experience is totally different. Just because you like what you saw in Smitty's his stream, it don't mean when you plug them in it's gonna be the same for you and your team. And that's why I like to play a lot of games before I make a final decision. Like, I don't do sliders like make rash decisions like, oh, that looked too much, that was too much of a run. I play a good amount of games and see where the balance is at. So there you have it. There you have it. And it's tough, man, because it's like, to add on to what Smitty is saying as well, we don't know. I really wish, Smitty, that Madden could get to a point like how NHL has their sliders and adjustments, because then you could really customize not so much the slider, but what's happening. How much effect does this play on that? And to me, that's totally different than just a slider. Like, for example, and I'm just, making this up as an example, but NHL does have where you can change how much physics or whatever affects the puck, blah, blah, blah. So imagine with Madden if there was a slider that allows you to say, how much weight is a factor in the trenches or something like that. And just hypothetically. Then that ain't really a slider. You're basically telling the game, look, I want this to matter at all times. You know what I mean? So that's where we got to get to. Like I've said in the past, Smitty has heard this. I want sliders in Madden. Since we're talking about football, I want it to be effort. So what I mean by that is, if I put pass blocking at 100, that shouldn't mean that we're blocking everybody. If I have a bum, I hate to say that. I hate to call guys bums in the NFL. They made it. I didn't.
They're lowly skilled.
There you go. He's not as good as the next guy. If he's a subpar left tackle, and I put that slider up to 100, I'm telling him at all costs, you better not let Ben get sacked. Do whatever you can do to block. Guess what's going to happen when he lines up opposite of Von Miller? He's still going to abuse him. Only thing is, I might see my man reaching. I might be risking him getting called for more holdings because he's trying to do whatever he can. That's what sliders should be, in my opinion. It should be effort, not how well, not a percentage of, if we put it down to 0, then they can't catch it all. Like, nah, that shouldn't be like, some things, I get it. Some things with catching, that's kind of vanilla. You can't put that on 0. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be so much where the slider overrides the ability or the rating of the player. That's what I don't like. That shouldn't happen. But that would be my fantasy, man, for it to be more like that, more of an effort thing. And a matchup is still gonna. It don't matter how much you tell this guy to block. He can't block Von Miller. You know, I want the Von Miller versus Michael Orr in the Super Bowl situation. I want to see something like that in the game where it doesn't matter where I got that block. The boy can't block him. He's on one tonight. The dude just can't be blocked. I want to see it. So that's my 2 cents on that, man. Let's see what else we had on the docket. Let's talk about 2K, Smitty. I've read it, but I need to read it again because it's so deep. Obviously, guys, for you guys that don't know, NBA 2K is, I mean, to say they focus on details is an understatement. I mean, what they're doing with my league, I could only dream of having a franchise mode again like that in football. Is phenomenal. And we got a question on Twitter, and I'm going to find who sent it because I want to give them full credit. I think this is a good conversation to have, though. Let me find it here. Give me just a second, guys. 2 shakes of a rattlesnake. Here we go. It came from Aaron Hodge. Twitter name is I believe it's an abbreviation, but it's @BlackJade. He says, I'm curious to hear, is it reasonable to accept Madden's progression as it compares to 2K's? In parentheses, he puts, even if you account for Madden's, the leadership and how we know things are ran there. It's a very valid question. Personally, Smitty, I don't want to say accept, because I don't accept what the leadership is doing with the game. But to some degree, we understand it. Especially with us, being in the position that we're in, we know this stuff. We don't accept it, but this is the reason why you don't see me kicking and screaming, ready to cuss somebody out and why this, why that, because we know why. Whether people want to believe us or not, we know what the truth is. Brett Lee came on here a couple weeks ago, ex-dev, he told you the truth. So what's the point of me getting all up in arms when I know exactly what the situation is? But that word accept, no, I don't. It ain't reasonable for me to accept it because I just can't accept that they won't follow the blueprint that they've set with their own products. It'd be different if Madden, EA was just EA Sports and Madden. It's their only game, right? And they're the only football game. They don't have no other sports titles. It's just EA Sports presents Madden. It'd be different if that was how they was running it and it's, okay, this is just our way of business. This is the EA Sports way. But that ain't the EA Sports way. Look at their other games. I can't accept what they're doing to Madden. The handcuffs, man. Take the handcuffs off of that game and off of your devs. Let them be great. And that's why y'all are hearing me being more vocal about that, and I'm going to keep pursuing that angle. That's why you don't see, y'all have seen this, right? Y'all don't see me talk to the devs on Twitter. How often do you see me talk to Clint? Or Ben Miller, or A-Dub, or any of these guys? Christian McLeod, and I think Christian might actually be with NBA now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Well, there you go. But have y'all noticed that I don't talk to them on Twitter? If anything, I'll send them a DM and we're just talking about stuff. Because there's no point. There's no point of me showing my anger towards them for things that are not in the game. Now, I might talk to them about bugs that are there for the the stuff that they have implemented, but I don't talk to them about why y'all ain't do this, why y'all ain't do that. I'm going after corporate, and I'm gonna keep finding that lane and finding a way to snake on in there and get to the right person. That's who needs to hear what we have to say. Is the ones who are sitting around and, frankly, I guess certain things are not a priority to them, and we just gotta show them why it is a priority. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I always say. I'll end it with this and throw it with you to you, Smitty. NBA 2K, I'm sure, is gonna have their share of problems, like every game does. But it's easier to stomach because the game has a lot of depth and a lot of detail. If Madden 19 right now, if franchise mode was the equivalent of Head Coach '09, you would still hear us complaining about the problems, but it wouldn't be as much noise. If that game was on that caliber with depth and the gameplay that they're delivering in 19, it would simply be, look, man, y'all got to fix this, got to fix that. But people wouldn't be all that pissed because it's such a well-rounded game. They got to get on board. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Well, what you think, man?
I mean, like, you know, they make the progression and everything. And see, look, to an
Mason
extent,
Rudolph to James Washington. My bad, Smitty. I've been waiting to see that connection because that was the college connection. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh no, you good, you good. No, I was just gonna say that when it comes to the game progression, we also this is something that has to be also understood is that the NFL is in the path. You know what I'm saying? That plays a major role. The NBA is a lot more lenient on what can and cannot be done as far as what can be allowed in the game. Like we've seen before, there are elements that the NFL that literally happens in the league every week, but they don't want those things in the game. The NFL doesn't want it. It's got nothing to do with what EA wants. It's got to do with what NFL wants. And like I said, we only know of a few things on the surface. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more that is behind those closed doors that they want to do in the game that would probably be some mind-blowing stuff, but they can't do it because the NFL has say-so as to why it can't be done. But at the same time, when you look at Madden and the route they've taken with development, I mean, yeah, it's like what Madden is doing right now. As far as Madden 19, even look at animations they're adding. Look at how the gameplay is overall starting to roll out now. If they had the level of animations that 2K had, and to replicate everything going on in their game, there'll be a lot more people pleased with the game. At the same time, you'll have a lot of people that'll be screaming out, "Oh, it's the same game. It's no different." Regardless of all that. So when it comes to them building this game out and everything, I mean, yeah, like you said, Sim, and I mean, heck, like Rex had said before, it's that the internal struggle is the precise thing. And it's got to be proven. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be proven time and time again in regards of gameplay modes, things like that, like as far as what satisfying multiple audiences and just being able to go on one track, not having to change it up, change things up at all. So, and see, look, understand this part as well. I mean, back in 2014 or whatever, when Rex said at E3 back then, "Hey, 2K, get in the game, pony up the money and get involved." We talked about this before. Other companies can't get involved.
Nobody listens, man.
It's like y'all got to understand that. Other companies can get involved. The problem is that it's so costly. That's the problem. They don't want to take that investment, and they're gonna be struggling for a while. You know what I'm saying? Why you think Rex caught heat for saying what he said at whatchamacallit at E3 years ago? You know what I'm saying? He like, you know what I'm saying? He said, 2K, invest in the license. Come on, let's make a game. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's do the thing. He wants that to happen. We all want it to happen. They want it to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's great. So, but they're not trying to do that. And I mean, if you understand, like I've talked about before in regards to stuff 2K's done, but I'm not about to go through all that again. But 2K, there are some things that they've done with sports gaming. That's why you don't see them making no other games other than, I mean, outside of wrestling, you don't see them making no other games. They're not making no baseball. They're not doing any of the other sports that they were doing. They're only doing basketball, and that's literally it. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is that corporate struggle. That's why us that want the sim stuff happening and want these authentic things to go on in the game, guess what we have to do? Get active on Twitter. Get active on YouTube. Like showing up in numbers, that's going to make the push. When they could go into a board meeting and be like, hey, look at, they could pull it up on the big board and be like, hey, I know you guys feel the way y'all feel, but look, I posted this question about this, that, and the third, and look at what all these people had to say. So people want this stuff to happen in the game. They want it to be this way. They want it to be like that. Oh, and when people have something negative to say about legitimate football facets, yeah, look at these tweets, look at these responses, and look at these videos, and look at the... You see what I'm saying? That's how you edge closer to it. It's a battle. It's definitely a battle. But that's how you push closer and closer to it. Look, Sim, okay, we talked about player movement for the longest time. Sim being one of the main catalysts, main people that was talking about player movement for the longest. Hey, we talked about it in APF. We talked about it in freaking Backbreaker when that came out. That's what, 2010? 2010. You know what I'm saying? 2010. Okay? They introduced True Step in Madden 25. That's 4 years later. How long did we keep on pressing that point about player movement? And then they introduced True Step, right? Now, people had difficulties with it. They made it easier to run. We even asked them. Yeah, it got messed up. But when we went to the studio, we was like, hey, could y'all put True Step? Could y'all do that to all the characters? Put it on all 22 players? Clint said back then, yeah, we could do it, but it'll break the game. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of things we could do, but it has to be suited. It has to fit with everything else in it. You can't just slap it on. So when you look 4 years later, look where they're at now. Now you do have it where it's pretty much on everybody. It's not on the trenches like that or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't show up in
it's
no
not,
engagements. Yeah.
Right. So, but it's there now, and it's on all the characters. So that's a big time move. But just think about how much community talk, community videos, community just a lot of emphasis to get that stuff. You see what I'm saying? So we need to see this stuff, emphasized in a good way. It's awesome to see A-Dub getting involved, to talking about, well, this is how we're doing it in Madden. This is how the concept works. This is how we have it in the game. And there's some things we're going to work on and blah, 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 blah. That's what I'm talking about. Good stuff, A-Dub. I'm glad you did that. Now, that adds even more reinforcement when you got guys like NY Kia and Graphsters and others that do these videos, tweet the tweets, all that good stuff. Because that's the stuff that we need in the game. We need these options. We need that authenticity. They're like, no, this is how it plays. So when people don't know what's going on, yeah, you got exposed, but now it's time for you to learn. So this is a grand opportunity for you to get more knowledge and understand what's going on. When you got that, when you got that, guess what you're able to do now? Hey, like I said, people tweet and all that stuff. Hey, guys, when Clint had them meetings and all them go in there, yeah, I know y'all feel the way y'all feel, but look, Look at what the consumer base is saying. So, and like what Spectre Bug said, a lot of people are going to have their hands on the game come tomorrow because that's the release of the standard edition. So it'll be fully available to everyone at that point, and that's very true. It could, it could go either way. It could go good. It could go bad. You know what I'm saying? In terms of how people react. But that's where the message has to be pressed, hard pressed. This is football going on here. And look, main thing like it was said earlier, the comp guys are not the ones that are complaining. You know what I'm saying? The comp guys are not the ones complaining. It's the sim guys that are complaining about the football stuff. That's crazy to say. So like what Sim said, if they made this game in the mold of NFL head coach, it wouldn't be NFL head coach no more, because there would be so many complaints because of how much authenticity there was in that game as far as lending its credence to football and running a team, managing a team, practicing with your team, player development, etc., drafting, salary cap management, all that, staff management and such. Yeah, people say they want all that, but when the rubber meets the road, a lot of people aren't going to want to mess with it. You see what I'm saying? So that's all I'm just saying at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like when people want to act, when people are going to act act up in regards to the game, it's got to be like, yo, this is the way it's going to be. You just got to get used to it. And if you don't like it, well, bounce. See ya. You know what I'm saying? That's just it. You gotta get better. You gotta get good because the game's gotta evolve. We can't keep doing this song and dance of, oh, we want the game to evolve and oh, it's gotta get more realistic and it's gotta get better. But ultimately you want it to play the exact same game. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I wanted to play the same, man. I don't want to play realistic, but I want it to be realistic though. Huh? How you want it to be realistic, but you don't want it to play like it? Man, I don't want it to play like real football, because I wanted to play like real football, then I'll watch what's going on TV. Like, I saw somebody tweet that garbage. And I'm like, are you seriously kidding me? And it's like, I guarantee you, these are one of these same cats that are out here and that will say when they see somebody point out a flaw in Madden, see, that game ain't realistic. That's why it ain't never realistic. But then when they do it, oh, I can't play the game. Oh, it's too hard for me. No, you don't want to embrace that learning curve and learn. You got to learn, man. Like, seriously. You got to learn that. So, now Sim guys been complaining. And Keith, that's the one.
Complaining.
Sim guys are complaining, bro.
Trust.
It's all through the timeline, fam. So, well, I'm clearly seeing it. So it's crazy. So, no one's and understand this. Like Sim said before, all these games got bugs. We know the games got bugs. We know the games got issues. We're pointing them out. We're talking about what's wrong. You see it all in the timelines from people that are thoroughly enjoying the game. They're talking about plays. They're talking about bugs. They're talking about issues. They're tweeting Clint and the Madden, Twitter handle and all that. So it's not, some people saying, oh, it's the honeymoon. Kill that noise. That honeymoon stuff ain't even going on. There's people that are genuinely playing it, liking what they're playing, but they're like, but they need to fix this, that, and the third. And the key thing that's being said throughout, regardless, is fix the gameplay issues. Fix the bugs. Don't nerf football because folk in their feelings about it. That's the key thing. So,
that's the thing, man. And shout outs to Stack. Stack wants to come on. I'm almost get you on here in just a moment. But just to highlight what Smitty is saying, man. I don't know if you guys are watching any of these preseason games. Obviously, I'm watching the Steelers. I'm seeing all kinds of, and Stack, don't call. I can't answer your call. I got to add you to this one. So if I were to try to answer it, then it would cut us out. But I'm watching this game, and it's so much stuff that I see in the game that we complain about in Madden, right? Now, in no way, shape, or form am I saying that Madden is playing like real football, just like it is on TV. But in some instances, there was just now, Mason Rudolph dumped it off to one of these fullbacks. I mean, one of these tight ends, right? The Eagles were playing zone. The linebacker that was responsible for that area basically gave him 5-6 yard cushion. Rudolph dumped it down. Dude picked up 5-6 yards, right? Now, I've seen so many times in Madden where people will say, man, he's supposed to cover that. Again, I always say this. Many people only bring up when the game is broken or when it's not sim or when it is sim or whatever, when things work for them. Most people don't accept the fact, yeah, man, I don't have a good quarterback, cornerback, receiver, safety. My D line isn't that good. We gotta get to a point where we're understanding what's happening. Like Smitty said, watch the A-Dub videos, guys. I'm gonna post them right here again to his channel, EA Playmaker. He posted 2 videos, and he's doing this in his spare time because he's actually away from the office momentarily, finishing up his vacation, and he's about to be back. He's doing this in his own time. Now, what I loved about the videos is the fact that he's teaching football. Because let's be honest, some of us don't know it. Let's be fair. Many times over, I've seen people call certain coverages and why didn't that guy pick that guy up? Well, that's not his responsibility. He's not supposed to. Right? And again, look at this game here. You're going to see plenty of times dudes making catches. This Damon Patterson kid is balling. He just got hurt. Son of a gun. But anyway, this dude is catching all kinds of balls, right? And it don't mean that the Eagles guys are trash. There's no zone that covers everything. You understand? Like, sometimes people are open. We see it every Sunday. And I always said it's a thin line of what's really a problem and what are people complaining about because it didn't work. Very thin line. And I like that A-Dub did also mention, and Wakia already pointed this out in his video, that they know that sometimes in match coverage, they're finding out that the safeties are jumping the wrong guy. They already have it in the works. It will be fixed. I don't know whether or not, I don't believe it'll be in the day 1 patch, but it should soon follow that. So I love the fact that he's even saying there, like, we have a problem in the game right now, or this guy's not doing this right, da-da-da-da-da. I love it. Again, transparency. But you have to teach people football. Because it's a lot of people. Like, I don't remember the guy's name. I just was scrolling Twitter, and I think he's a comp player. A week or so ago, he's complaining as he brings both of his safeties in the box. And then he gets beat over the top. Now, I will agree that it looked like...
Joel. That was Joel.
It was Joel. Okay. It looked like the way the 2 guys went after it was kind of like, what was that? Like, they kind of did the same animation.
Yeah, synchronized, yeah.
But in reality, they should get beat if they brought up close to the line like that and the guy runs a deep seam.
Exactly.
I mean, it happens. He was expecting his guys. He wasn't necessarily complaining about the animation. He was more so upset, if I heard it correctly, at the fact that he couldn't make the play.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a thin line, guys, between us accepting football stuff and what is a real bug. That's all. I always approach it on football, even if it means my team loses. I'm always giving my feedback based on football principles, not the way I play Madden. Because again, so many people commenting in the videos, man, Madden, you know you can't play Madden. You're not good at Madden. It's always Madden. But it's a good amount of you guys that have appreciated the game. I know who I'm showing the game to. Now, the numbers and all that come with it, and I appreciate it. But I know who my crowd is and who I'm showing the game to, which is the reason why I did all of those gameplays with no commentary, no filters, no cut-ups. And y'all have come out and said, "Wow, man, I like the way the game is played." Because we take a football approach. It ain't about just always throwing a 60, 70-yard touchdown. Unless you do it like Kia did in one of his videos where he caught, I forgot who he was playing, but he was up 21-0 on All-Madden because he was calling the right plays based on coverage. That's when it's rewarding. It's not rewarding to me to cheat the game. You know, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just crazy, Smitty, but it's just sickening, man, seeing people complain about football.
No, and understand. Joel was playing during that Madden season, you know. So this dude was on Twitch and everything during the season and all that good stuff. So he was getting he was on that grand stage, and he was up here saying, "Oh, like, oh, Madden 19 in a nutshell," and showing that kind of stuff. And that's the other thing that kills me too as well. It when guys try to sum up the game in one, sum up Madden, like sum up any video game, they try to sum it up in one play.
Right.
Oh, I had this bug on one play. Oh, that's Madden in a nutshell. But what happened in the rest of the game? What about the entirety of the game? What about, like, why don't you upload all that and show us what happened the whole game? So that way we could see just how much this happened. Like, you're telling me that one issue happened to you X amount of times? Well, show it to us. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's things like that. You know what I mean? Like that. That's why I love it when I stream. You know, like when Sim streams, when we show this stuff to you, it's not like we're glorifying the game. It's like, no, we're showing you the game. Look, you're seeing when it's jacked up. You're seeing when it's good. You're seeing it. So that's
got
what
one,
you know. That's
got one right here that I'm cutting up right now that I'm gonna show y'all. And you know, and we got Stack here on the line, and just before you come in, Stack, it's like Smitty said, is I just don't subscribe to the one play and then that's the game, because like I said, if that was the case, I would have never continued to play NBA 2K the way I actually still play 2K18. If I judge it off of one instance, or even MLB The Show, I told you when I first played that game the first couple weeks, my outfielder teleported all the way to home plate and let a pop fly go right over his head. That was a bug. So I guess what I'm saying is, this is the way I approach video games and Madden, especially having the inside info about the game. I report the problems and I showcase things that need to be fixed, and I showcase things I would like to see going forward. I don't spaz out and lose my mind when I see a bug in a game, because I identify it as a bug. Now, maybe some people don't do that, Smitty. I mean, I'll be fair. Maybe some people don't know. Maybe they just feel like that's just the game. I don't know. But that's just my 2 cents, man. But Stack, man, happy to have you on, man. Whatever you got for us tonight, shoot.
How are y'all guys? Can y'all hear me pretty good?
Yes, sir.
All right. I got the game when it came out on the Xbox at EA Access. I've enjoyed the game. This Madden holiday has been hard for me in a way. Some of y'all may not know this, but my uncle passed away last week, and he is the one that got me into football video games and got me into video games in general. Oh, it's okay, man. Family's getting through it. We're doing all right. But you know, I look back at all the games we played, and you know, Madden was the game that's all he ever wanted to play. It's all he ever wanted to play. It was his game, and you know, I look at Madden 19 and I'm like, this feels like Madden 17 before they decided to rip it all to pieces on me, and I had that divorce syndrome where I felt like I got divorced and kicked out of the house. I hear some people talking nonsense here in this community when they say, well, man, base aligning is broken. actually base a line isn't broken. You can't base a line every single play and expect for somebody not to get burned. That's not realistic. You can't willy nilly this game like 18 and 16 and all those other games. That's what I don't understand. And I've lost plenty of games in this one, and I would get to the fourth quarter and it'd be 3-0, and then I end up losing a game 10-0 or 21-17 or something like that. There's a few bugs in this game, but this game is not broken to the means that people want to talk about. My linebackers aren't reacting to the ball. Maybe your linebacker sucks. You ever looked at his ratings? Or you ever looked at his skill tree at all? I mean, do you expect a 74 overall linebacker to stop a slant over the middle against somebody who's like 93 speed and has the elusiveness as someone like Beasley coming across them? Like, and especially if he hits the A button or the X button and he gets to the ground and he catches it and just beats you in front of the ball. I honestly don't get it. Like, I've not seen morphing like people think they do. And please stop talking about you can't run the ball, because I've run the ball over 100 yards and I'm not hitting the R2 trigger until I finally get through the hole and up into the second level.
There you go.
Because if you're hitting R2 at the beginning of the play to run the ball, you're dead. Because the block shit is instant like that, and it's supposed to be. And how many times did they say that was supposed to happen, and people just act like, well, we can play it like we always. No, you can't. And I hate to tell you, if you have a quarterback like Tom Brady and you're trying to throw deep balls on every play, and your guard is trash, good luck with that, because sooner or later somebody's going to whip that guard's butt and you're going to get sacked and lose 10 yards. It's just, you better learn to check the ball down. And there is people in this community that I really question whether you really know football or really even want to play football. Because I've heard people literally say, well, I like it okay when I can do it to somebody else, but if they do it to me, that really hurts. You know, that really messes. Really? Like, I've literally watched people's videos talking about the game sucks because they're not able to do this, and this from 18.
Of course they do.
And you know, there's one time when I was playing, what was it? I-Formation, I think it was I-Formation Pro. Halfback toss. I pitched the ball, tossed the ball, and the ball hit my running back in the back. And then I tried to do it a whole bunch more times later, and it didn't do it anymore. I don't know if they had patched that or they seen that or tuned that or whatever it was. Maybe it was just that one-time instance, but it happened to me online. It cost me a game, and I sent it to Clint because that did happen in 17. Now, I don't know if that's been fixed or if that was a one-time deal, but it was working a lot. Like, it was hitting him in the back every single time, but it's not doing that anymore. So I don't know if they've done anything. I know that it did say for an update. I didn't know what that update was for. Offensive line. If you don't have an offensive line, you're gonna suck. The trenches in this game have changed. If you have somebody like J.J. Watts that comes off the edge and he can get there, he's gonna get there. Weight and momentum matters. I do say this: don't use the hit stick, but if you can hit somebody and cause a fumble, you can. But I've numerous times whiffed because I got juked out of my shorts. It's not as easy to lay hit sticks as it used to be. What else did I want to say real quick? Oh, Sim, I really did like you and Smitty's videos when y'all was putting like the streams. I really don't understand if people get how the corners you use the defense to bait you in. That I've seen numerous cases where you will throw picks where it looks like the corner has let you go, and then he backs up, he baits you, especially if it's a man coverage corner, and he comes back across your face and takes the ball. So I've seen that a few times, but it's only certain corners that can actually pull that off. They're not, I mean, you know, it's like 4 or 5 in the league that can actually do that, but I've actually seen it. I like it now that, you know, you will play your space on defense, but then once that they cross out of your space, you kind of hand them off to the next person and you go back. And people, I'm not saying this doesn't happen, but the defense doesn't get lost like it used to be. I mean, there is instances and sometimes there things do happen, but for the most part, I believe the defense is a whole lot better this year. And I just don't want to see this game get nuked and nerfed and tore apart and gutted again. I want this game to get tuned up and not tuned down. There is one thing that I was wanting to ask y'all. Is it possible for you to maybe ask the devs for this coming up year if we can have a practice mode that matters? Because practice mode sucks. It's not. Yeah. We don't have a practice mode, and they do have this thing on Ultimate Team where you can invite a friend to practice with, and we need that for like franchise mode because CFM needs something to where like y'all are in the preseason or y'all are in the off season, and y'all can actually practice. Y'all could go in there, and y'all can simulate a scrimmage of a game. And I think that would make sense because you see teams do that, like the Broncos and the Chiefs do that. San Diego's done that with the Patriots before. Like, I think that would be really good to do. Even the times we ask for a ghost version where we can play sort of like our friends or the upper echelon of the game, the players of the game, something like that. Anything, because practice mode has to get changed. It's horrible, and that's one of my biggest issues. Is we need a practice mode to where, you know, we can have sort of a competition type deal, or we're both getting better. So I guess I'll let y'all have it. If there's nothing else, I guess I'll let y'all go, man.
No problem, man. Yeah, we're about to wrap up, but Stack, before you go, are you still watching the stream on the computer?
I have it on my phone.
Yeah, because I posted a play in there, and I just want to see everyone's interpretation of what they're seeing, because, you know, I've seen a little bit. Some people are saying there's things they don't like. Some people are saying there's things that look great. So I'm just curious, you know, once we drop off here, check that out and come back in the chat and let me know, you know, what you think about this play that I have playing. It'll be in the stream. But outside of that, man, we definitely appreciate you coming on. Always a good perspective there. Appreciate that. Alright guys, sorry about that. It looks like I cut the stream off by accident. I mean, not the stream, but I cut the Skype off by accident, but you guys probably can still see me and hear me. Let's see, looks like, yeah, Smitty's still there. So yeah guys, I want y'all to take a look at that play, man, and let me know, what is it that you see that's good? What do you see that's bad? I was going to use this and break it down. I may still do it as a separate video, but I just want to see everyone's opinion, because some of the things that I'm hearing I agree with, some of the things I'm hearing I don't agree with. So to some degree, it's, you know, it's really all about, you know, perspective. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. But yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap the show up, man. We're 5 minutes away. Smitty looks like he stepped away for a moment, but I definitely want to give Smitty a final word. But I also want to agree with what Stack said. I fully agree with what he said. Definitely, I agree with we need some type of practice, situational stuff. That's the one thing that's missing in the practice mode. I'm tired of just doing these drills. Can my guys practice actual situations, and can these guys also, progress from practice? And I don't know how you implement it to where it would be non-cheesy. I think there's a way they can make it happen, since they're trying to implement the skill points, and I know there's bugs all over the skill points as well that they got to fix. But I would like to see more situational practices, man. Like being a little bit biased here, the Steelers do this thing called 7 shots, where it's 7 attempts to get into the end zone, right outside, inside of the red zone and stuff like that. I want to practice 2-minute situations. I want to practice more, if I have certain guys in this spot, in this situation, what would you do? We need that. I feel like the practices now is just, I really feel like it's more so placebo. You get your XP points, but I want this stuff to really matter. This is how crazy I am with it, guys. I want a game plan. That's what I really want to see in franchise, where we have to go in there with a game plan. And I got crazy ideas, even to where now that there's schemes in the game, incorporate coordinators, right? And your coordinator comes up with the scheme, and you call plays based off of his scheme. That would be kind of dope. I would love to see stuff like that. And then there's a game plan that you go into the game with, and you can practice that. It could get so deep. And because listen, some people might say that's a bit too much, but if you play my league, you'll get an idea of some of this stuff. Because in my league, you can even set your roster and your the way you want to play versus separate teams. Like you could do a whole plan, or you could do it based on the team you're facing. Same thing in MLB The Show. You can set up your lineup for the certain teams, and when we're facing a lefty, and when we're facing a roster where there's a designated hitter all the time, and it's not a pitcher hit, all of that kind of stuff. So there's no excuse. Madden should be able to get to that point as well. Last thing I'll say here, and then we'll close it out, is there was something I had, and I think I lost it. Must not have been that important. Smitty, you got anything else, man, you want to add to anything that Stack said, or any lasting words here before we close?
I didn't get to hear what everything Stack had to say. My daughter and my wife and daughter came home, as you can hear her. Quiet. But
they right on time. We get ready to wrap it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but no, I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything in addition to from what I heard him say. But what I will say is that, like always, we thank all of y'all coming through. We have, this is always a great show. Y'all made it great with everything y'all had to say. Your feedback, points, and perspectives are always appreciated. So that's awesome. But yeah, man, look, the game's gonna be coming out tomorrow. Everybody's gonna be getting down on it at midnight. There, that should help. And everybody's gonna be getting on at midnight, and playing the game. And we gotta fight for that integrity. Honestly, they're giving us that football game, and if we want it to be held true, we gotta fight for that. So that means getting active, getting vocal. Don't sit up here and just be like, oh, EA should just do it and all that stuff. No, you gotta. You see, if you're watching these games, if you watch any of these preseason games out here, you see football. You see football happening out here. So when you got all this football stuff going on out here, yo, see what's happening in this game, and if that's what you truly want, push for that, fight for that, defend football. Because if it happens in Madden, and don't be like, oh, but I can't do exactly what I want to do. You shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't always be able to. Football is the most chaotic sport out here. It shouldn't be like that. So that's what we got to see. This is the kind of stuff we see happening in these games and everything, man. For real. And we want to see all that stuff replicated, and we want to see people, playing the game and experiencing it themselves. And you come back and you tell us how the game is. You tell us if the game is good or bad. Don't ask us, well, should I buy it this year? Even my man Tick said it. Yo, we can't tell you that. Rent the game yourself. You tell us. I can't speak your mind for you. That's like if would I tell you what house to buy? You know what I'm saying? If like a big, let's go. If you're gonna do that, let's go big. Give me those big money purchases, and ask me, yeah, go ahead and buy that. Sure, go ahead. And then when you hate it, oh, but I trusted you. No, you gotta find out for yourself. You have to see. That's the bottom line. So, but that's all that I got. Oh, and like you said before, Sim, Red Dead Redemption 2, that trailer was, I'm mad it come out in October. I'm so mad. It's basically October 26th
pre-order
is when that game.
Already.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's just part one. They said open living world and all this. Man, please. I don't even want to. You know what? The multiplayer is going to be sick. I already know. Multiplayer is going to be retarded. This game probably going to run for like a good 5-6 years. Just like GTA. Came out in 2013 and they still added stuff to it. They about to do this same freaking thing with this Red Dead Redemption. And this is just the first little snippet part that we found out today in that 6-minute video. Dog.
The game is
freaking phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Already. I ain't even got to. Some games you could just tell. I remember when me and Smitty first saw The Order 1886, we say, that game is bananas. It looked good, and it was just short, but that game was everything we thought it would be. And Red Dead, bruh, come on, man. It's
the gun. Oh yeah.
Last thing one or two things I would say. Yeah. I'm gonna end it on this Madden clip that I'm playing in the video. In the stream. All right. But before that, when you saw the 2K trailer, does it not look like 2K18?
Oh, like spot on.
2K17.
Yep. 16?
Yep. Maybe 15. There you go.
Well, okay.
But that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted you to say, because that's a huge gap for those years. But the point I wanted to make, I didn't judge that trailer. You know when I'm going to know how good the game is? When I play it.
Yep.
I cannot make a determination on that game until I play it. I don't look at games from afar and from the couch and say, oh, it looks the same. Most of these games are going to look the same. They just, when we start playing it, I'm going to be looking for that stuff and that super duper and informative blog. I'm going to be looking for that stuff. And for the most part, they deliver on their stuff. Do they have their legacy problems in here and there? Of course they do. But we'll see what they do in 19. So I wanted to make that point. People do that with all these games, particularly now. Oh, it looks the same. And now that the game is out and a lot of people have played it, you're hearing so many people say, oh, man, the game is different. Oh, man, it moves different. Oh, man, I'm loving this. I'm loving that. That's case in point. But the last thing I wanted to say, man, and I'm going to carry myself to bed, I see my Steelers trying to do their thing in preseason, which they normally like to lose a lot in preseason, so this is encouraging. Looking at this video, I got so many different responses to it, Smitty. Some people said, oh, why did the corner turn his back like that? I don't see it like that. And I'm gonna break this down because I want to point out what I think I didn't like about this video. So I am still gonna do a separate video here. I might do it tonight and then have it post tomorrow. But if you look at that play, what they're replicating there is the corner gets beat. Now, he doesn't necessarily turn his back. He's looking, but then he reacts to the receiver, and when he reacts to the receiver, he's face guarding him. So I don't know if I agree with saying he shouldn't turn his back. I didn't see a problem in that instance. And he got faked out, so he stumbles. Now he's trying to recover. But some other people saw it differently. He shouldn't have. See what I'm, so my point is, this is living proof, and that's why I looped it. Everyone's interpretation is different. This is exactly my point. All of us, and quite a few of us here, might have our own opinions about how that corner should have played that. I love that catch, and I love where the ball was placed. Somehow I made it happen. I don't know how I did that. But there's some things in here too that I didn't like in terms of the footwork and how things are still kind of connected. And I'm going to show you that when I break it down. So that's why I showed that video there. I just wanted to hear different opinions. And even right here in this chat, you see how everyone's interpretation is different. So this is what I'm saying, man. When some people say a game is trash and other people say the game is great, you got to take it for what you take it for. So there you go.
Yeah. And I'll just say, this goes to show the diversity in football. Because when you see plays happen, oh man, how come he ain't do? Well, everybody doesn't play everything the exact same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, right. This is exactly, and this, looking at it here, it symbolizes how he got beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it symbolizes the letter. He bumped him. He got beat. He got beat off the line, and then it's like he bumped him a little bit, so he was out of position. Now he's trying to recover, and he's just trailing him. He's trying to make a play over top. See what I'm saying? So that is a valid play. That's definitely a valid play.
Man, so and Amazing Fantasy, I recommend that. Get the games if y'all want to get them, or don't get them at all. This is what I recommend. That's why I never tell somebody to buy, not to buy. I've washed my hands of all of that. If y'all have noticed, I don't even give that many opinions no more because I don't need you hanging on to how I feel about it. I'll give you my light impressions, but your experience is going to be different than mine. So, well, all right, guys, man, that's going to wrap us for the night, man. This was another great show. Remember, if you want to come on, let us know early enough in the week. We'll bring you on, or you could just ask the night of, and we'll still bring you on. But if you want to be an actual panelist, and if you have an actual topic you want to discuss, then let us know early on. Most of you guys know we're on Twitter. Y'all know our handles. Hit us up. But outside of that, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the football game here tonight. Whether your team was playing or not, I'm ecstatic to have football back. And we just going to keep it rolling until September. And outside of that, for you guys who don't have Madden yet, please, please, please give feedback through Twitter. Give feedback. And even though what I said earlier about not tagging me, you can tag me. I'm just saying, if you're talking to the dev, man, have that conversation. Like, don't make it seem like it's Smitty and I that's sending the information for you, because then it still looks like just us. We need everybody else's, numbers drive everything. So give your feedback, both good and bad, and we'll see. All right, so that's it, guys. We out. Y'all have a good one. Be safe, and we'll catch you guys next Thursday. Peace.
Peace.